Welcome to today's explainer. Right, so today we're going to take a collective deep breath and tackle something I think we all deal with, that constant, quiet chaos of our digital devices. I mean, we live in a time where our phones are just nonstop pinging, our inboxes are constantly blowing up, and our home screens, they're basically just a mosaic of red notification dots. If you've ever felt that very real spike of anxiety just from glancing at your phone, you are absolutely in the right place. We're going to explore some mindful, highly effective tips to declutter your digital life, drawn straight from some really fantastic recent insights.
Okay, let's dive right into this. I want you to take a second and actually visualize your smartphone or your computer storage. Imagine it as an actual physical room in your house, like a physical closet. If you were to walk up to that door and turn the handle, what would happen? Would it swing open easily, or is your digital closet so completely stuffed that gigabytes of forgotten downloads, unread notifications, and unused apps just come spilling out all over the floor? It gets incredibly cramped in there, right? And honestly, the anxiety that visual brings up is exactly why we need to talk about digital hygiene. Section 1. Physical versus digital, the closet analogy. So you've probably heard of the classic one in, one out rule for our physical closets, right? You buy a new sweater, you donate an old one. It naturally keeps things balanced. But what's really interesting here is that this golden rule isn't just for your wardrobe anymore. It translates perfectly to our screens. Our physical spaces obviously need regular tidying to prevent junk from just piling up on our desks. But our digital lives? They require the exact same level of curation. Why? Well, because even though digital clutter is technically invisible, our brains totally don't treat it that way. Every single unused app, every unread email, those randomly scattered desktop icons, they're subconsciously processed by the brain as unfinished tasks. It's like this low-level hum of chaos that is constantly taxing your mental bandwidth. And that impacts your mental clarity just as severely as sitting in a genuinely messy room. Moving on to Section 2, the rule in action, one in, one out. Now, what's really interesting about this rule is how straightforward it is to put into practice. It seamlessly maintains that mental equilibrium we were just talking about. So let's look at the mechanics. Step 1, you find and download a new app that's genuinely sparking joy for you. Maybe a fun new puzzle game, a fitness tracker, whatever it is. Step 2, before you even open it, you delete an app you literally never use. Letting a new addition serve as the trigger for a mindful deletion ensures your digital footprint stays completely balanced. And this mindful decision-making philosophy applies everywhere. Did you just subscribe to a new retail email list for a discount code? Instantly unsubscribe from an old one you never read. Opening a new browser tab for some research? Close an old one you've been hoarding for like 3 weeks. The whole goal is to constantly curate your digital space as you go. Let's look at another super relatable scenario and see how this builds. Imagine this number, 50. That is the exact number of photos you might have just taken of your cat doing absolutely nothing. We've all been there. Thanks to those burst photo features on modern smartphones, we all have that moment where we snap way too many pictures in rapid succession, basically treating our camera roll like a flip book, just trying to capture that one single perfect shot. When that happens, you really have to apply this curation rule right away. As the source hilariously advises, you need to delete the blurry ones where she looks like she's plotting world domination. I mean, it's so true. It's all about prioritizing curation over accumulation. You literally do not need to keep every single digital item you create. By valuing the quality of your digital possessions over just the sheer quantity, you protect your cloud storage and, honestly, you protect your sanity. So keep the one perfect, cute shot and immediately ditch the 50 out-of-focus supervillain duplicates. Which brings us to Section 3, the mindful payoff, the anti-cleanout. So the crucial point is, the reason we do all of this really comes down to this incredible psychological payoff known as the anti-cleanout. Basically, the anti-cleanout is the art of keeping your space and your mind tidy without the need for those dramatic, exhausting purges. Because let's face it, absolutely nobody wants to spend a beautiful Saturday afternoon glued to a screen, painfully trying to free up gigabytes of space just because they got a dreaded storage full warning. By practicing this sustainable daily habit, one app, one email, one cat photo at a time right in the moment, you protect your weekends. You completely shift digital management from being the stressful, looming chore into a quick, mindful, and highly empowering daily action. Ultimately, this whole approach just boils down to a few core philosophies. It's about making mindful decisions every single day. It's not consciously managing what we allow into our lives, rather than just passively accepting every single thing we download or subscribe to. And most importantly, it's recognizing that we really have to apply this discipline equally to both our physical and our digital spaces.
When we do that, we create an environment where tidiness in our external and digital spaces naturally leads to a very sustainable, tidy mind.
Which brings us to our final question for this explainer. I really want you to ask yourself, what will you delete today to clear your mind? I want to challenge you to leave this explainer feeling empowered and ready to take one small, mindful step right now. Delete one unused app, unsubscribe from one newsletter, heck, clear off a couple of old desktop icons or delete one blurry photo. Reclaim that little bit of space, both on your device and in your head. Thanks so much for joining me today. And hey, here is to a clearer, tidier digital life.